Bro, Floyd Mayweather just watched Manny Pacquiao's new training footage, and his reaction said everything without saying anything at all. Because what Pacquiao is doing in that camp right now is so far beyond what anyone expected from a 46-year-old man that even Floyd's team has gone quiet. No trash talk, no bravado, no Money Mayweather energy, just silence. And when Floyd Mayweather goes quiet about something, you know it is serious. Stay with me, because by the time we get to the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why this training footage has completely shifted the conversation around this fight, and why Floyd's reaction to it tells you more than any press conference ever could. Alright, let us set the scene properly. September 19th, 2026, The Sphere in Las Vegas, Netflix globally. The most anticipated rematch in boxing history. And while the legal drama around Floyd's contract situation has been dominating every headline, something has been quietly happening in Pacquiao's training camp that nobody in Floyd's corner saw coming. Because here is what people keep forgetting about Manny Pacquiao. This man turned down easy money, sat down and was asked directly why he did not just fight a YouTuber, take the Logan Paul route, collect a massive payday with zero risk at his age. And he said simply, "What does that do for my legacy?" He said he picks the hardest fights because he wants to add to what he has already built. That is not the mentality of someone coasting into a retirement payday. That is the mentality of someone who genuinely believes he has unfinished business. And that belief is showing up in training in a way that has the entire boxing world paying very close attention right now. So let us talk about what Floyd actually saw when that footage dropped, because the details are genuinely shocking. Pacquiao is doing 1 full hour of road work, then a complete strength and conditioning session, and then, wait for it, he finishes with 1,600 sit-ups, 1,600, not as a warm-up, as the finisher, after the run, after the full conditioning session, at 46 years old. His trainer looked at the camera and said he is a machine, and the way he said it was not promotional hype. It was genuine disbelief from someone watching it every single day. And here is the detail that makes it even more impressive. His training staff are actually having to tell Pacquiao to pull back on his runs, because as they increase the intensity of other sessions, he is still trying to go maximum effort across everything simultaneously. He does not self-regulate, he just goes. Every session, every day. The people training him are telling him to do less, and he keeps pushing harder. Now Floyd saw this footage, and Floyd, who has spent the last decade responding to everything with cash posts and bravado and the Money Mayweather energy, suddenly had very little to say. And that silence from Floyd Mayweather is the most telling reaction in this entire story. Because Floyd knows something the general public is still catching up to. He knows what Pacquiao looks like when he is truly motivated. He was in the ring with him in 2015. He knows how dangerous that man is when everything is clicking. And right now, the footage coming out of that camp is showing a version of Pacquiao that looks more locked in than he has been in years. The boxing world reacted immediately when this footage dropped, and the takes were all over the place. Joe Rogan pushed back hard in Floyd's corner. He said Floyd looks great in sparring right now, does not look like he has lost a step. And he made a point about Floyd's lifestyle that landed differently given everything going on. Floyd does not drink, does not party, does not do anything that damages his body, eats right, trains constantly, stays in shape year-round. Rogan said because of that, Floyd's timing, reflexes, and defensive instincts have stayed elite long after fighters who lived harder have completely faded. He said he does not see Pacquiao beating Floyd. He even said Floyd could come back today and beat active fighters. He suggested Floyd would light up Barrios. That is a big statement. And it is the argument Floyd's camp is quietly leaning on right now as this footage circulates. But then, Chris Algieri, a man who actually felt Pacquiao's punches in a real fight, offered a completely different perspective. He said, "Nobody fights like Pacquiao. Nobody." He said it took Marquez 4 fights to figure him out, and Marquez is one of the fastest thinkers ever to lace up gloves. He described trying to fight Pacquiao as getting your crosshairs on someone who changes his rhythm the exact moment you think you have found it. Fast hands, hard hands, punches from angles you cannot see. He called it bricks for hands with speed attached. And then Algieri still leans toward Floyd winning. Even after all of that praise for Pacquiao, because Floyd's defensive system remains the hardest puzzle in boxing. His ability to control space and pace and capitalize on mistakes is something that does not just disappear with age when the fundamentals have been that deeply ingrained for that long. Ronnie Shields, veteran trainer, refused to pick a winner after watching the footage. And when a trainer of Shields' level cannot call it, that tells you something significant. He said Pacquiao's speed and pressure make him genuinely dangerous to Mayweather. He said determination matters more than age. He said whoever has the best game plan on fight night wins. And he said he genuinely wants to be in the building. Here is where it gets crazy. Because Floyd's silence after this footage dropped is not just about respect for Pacquiao's training. There is a strategic layer underneath it that is worth understanding. Floyd Mayweather has built his entire post-retirement brand on mystique, on the idea that he is untouchable, that the zero is permanent, that nobody can beat him. Every exhibition fight he has taken since retiring has been carefully chosen to reinforce that image. YouTubers, non-boxers, opponents who were never going to threaten the brand, because the brand is worth more than any single fight payday. And now here comes Pacquiao footage dropping, showing a 46-year-old man doing 1,600 sit-ups after a full training session, with a point to prove and zero interest in taking easy fights. And Floyd knows that responding to that footage with bravado and cash posts is the wrong move. Because if he talks trash and then has a bad night at the Sphere, the whole mystique collapses publicly, on the biggest stage in boxing history, in front of Netflix's global audience. So Floyd goes quiet, and that quiet is calculated. But it is also the first time in 20 years that Floyd Mayweather has been on the back foot in a media narrative going into a fight. No cap, that shift in momentum is significant. And then there is the question that Paulie Malignaggi raised that nobody has a good answer to. We know exactly what Pacquiao looks like because we just saw him against Barrios go the full 12 rounds against a world-class younger fighter. We have no idea what Floyd looks like at 49 in a real professional fight under real pressure. His last actual pro bout was against Conor McGregor in 2017, nearly a decade ago, against a man making his professional boxing debut. That is not a stress test for Floyd's reflexes at this point in his career. Ring rust at nearly 50 is not the same as ring rust at 35. The split-second timing of Floyd's shoulder roll, the micro adjustments that made him impossible to hit cleanly. All of that requires consistent competitive pressure to stay sharp. Exhibition fights against non-boxers do not replicate that pressure, and nobody knows until September 19th whether Floyd has retained it or not. So here is where everything lands. Pacquiao dropped training footage that shocked the entire boxing world. 1 hour of road work, full conditioning, 1,600 sit-ups, a mentality that rejected easy money for legacy, at 46 years old. And Floyd Mayweather's reaction was silence. Not trash talk, not a cash post. Silence.
You see what Floyd said? I think he might saying that he feels it's an exhibition and not a real fight.
Is that what he's feeling? But he signed a real fight.
So it's for sure.
Yes, the contract that we signed is a real fight.
Real fight, okay. Yeah, because I know he said
I want to fight an exhibition.
No exhibition. It's either real fight or nothing.
Yeah, it's a real fight. Yeah.
The Sphere still in Las Vegas?
That's the contract that he signed.
Okay, so it's still happening then.
He has to remember that.
But it's still on? It's still happening?
Oh yeah, we did sign the contract already, so there's no reason why,
Why wouldn't?
Yeah.
Floyd is relying on a defensive system so refined over 21 years that even a slightly diminished version might be enough. Rogan thinks he has not lost a step. His lifestyle choices support that argument. But we genuinely do not know what Floyd looks like under real professional pressure in 2026 because we have not seen it in nearly a decade. Here is the thing that nobody wants to say out loud. For the first time in their entire rivalry, Pacquiao is the one who looks more prepared. the one with more to prove, the one training harder. And Floyd is the unknown quantity walking into fight night. And Floyd knows it. That is why he went quiet. Drop your prediction in the comments. Does Pacquiao finally get his win? Or does Floyd's genius hold up one more time at nearly 50? Subscribe if you are new. See you in the next one.